Hey there kind people, it's me Eunbin. Welcome to my review of Make Mate 1. I don't know if it is faith or what, but I had to go through a lot to review this show. First, it was airing on Wednesday, so I couldn't make a weekly review because Island 2 was airing on Thursday. As my teammate Shinky was on a break, I can handle 2 videos back to back within 24-hour gap. So I decided to make a video like I used to in the old days, covering everything in one single video. However, that made me lazy. I wasn't following it in the real time. I would watch one episode in every 2 weeks or so. I thought it would have 11 episodes, so I planned to complete it before the final, but it ended up finishing within 10 episodes. I had no idea. I was just scrolling through Twitter and saw a post about the final lineup. I didn't see the whole lineup. I only saw Being Fun, Honey Yusuf, and someone with an M in their name. So I had 2 options, Midori and Miraku. At that time, they both were decent in my eyes. I spent the rest of the show comparing these two. In the next episode after this incident, they were against each other and both of them had to change their teams. So you can see how much thrilling it was for me. I thought I could finish 5 episodes within 3 days, but my brain couldn't handle that much. It took me 8 days. I also had to visit my relatives in between. That took my 3 to 4 days. Anyway, let's start from the beginning. First, let's talk about the show's concept. In every round, they were divided into 2 groups and they would compete against each other in subgroups. So there were 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Then within groups they were divided into 2 or 3 subunits. One subunit from Team A would go against one subunit from Team B. The team that would win more rounds would get the benefit. It was a simple yet cool concept. It wasn't something new. In every survey shows one team has to go against another, but making it like a sports was great. Even in Island there was Island versus Ground. However, there they were also competing within teams, but here if you were on the same team, it meant you could only win together. Like they say, like a mate. It was wholesome, less evil and great for teamwork. That's why I like this concept. Now about the pre-show. In other shows, I at least know 2 or 3 contestants before watching the show. There was Yusuf who was in Boys Planet. The only thing I remember about him is that he was in Jellyfish Entertainment's Gonuk and Friends team. That's not too good for him to be honest. I was waiting for them to debut together after Gonuk is done with Zero Base 1. However, I really like Yusuf in this show. The moment he played the guitar, he became my pick. Miraku was in Nizi Project Season 2. I dropped that show after 2 or 3 episodes, so I don't remember him. And I actually like the fact I don't know many people. It was fun to get to know everyone from the beginning. One of the things that gave this show's hype was that there was a contestant from North Korea or a North Korea defector. I guess both are the same. To be honest, I totally forget about him after that. I even forget the fact that there was someone who was from North Korea. He even reached the final. When he mentioned again in the final, it hit me. Oh yeah, there was someone. Maybe it's cool that they didn't focus on that fact so much, and since I watched the episode back to back, I couldn't connect with many contestants. My focus was only on a few. Since I didn't watch weekly, I didn't have time to process every aspect. I didn't even watch any performance more than once, and since I didn't review it, I was like a general viewer. I was absorbing everything they were feeding me, not thinking about whether it was actual truth. That brings us to the show itself. There were many things in the shows that were different from other shows. In other shows, we first see an audition round where the judges meet the contestant for the first time. Here, there was a somewhat similar thing, but it was more like an interim evaluation of the first round, and from the start, they performed in front of the audience. At first, I was confused about why they were just focusing on the keywords and why the judges were more interested in the keywords than the performance. I would be lying if I said I didn't like the keyword thing. It was fun. I was also mostly bored with the audition round, so it was fun for me. Anyway, after the first 2 episodes, my top 7 were Yusuf, Min Jae, Being Fun, Tai, Xiaofu, Anshin, Yeon. I also like Aki Seon, Jang Hyun Jun, and Midori. But during the first elimination when they were getting eliminated, I was praying it wouldn't be Kai, and Kai was the first one to be eliminated. After that, I was hoping it wouldn't be Aki, and the next one was Aki. Then I hoped it wouldn't be Xiaofu, and it was him. My final bet was on Midori, and he was safe. Later in the show, I started to like Miraku, Jia Hao, Min Jun, Junpyo, Kim Sung Ho, and Wonchun. We are talking about a survey show, so how can we miss the concept of evil editing? Why does this sound like a script of one of my flop videos? Anyway, in this show, I didn't notice any specific evil editing. They didn't target a contestant and give them an evil arc. They tried to show things as they were. If they fought, they showed why they fought. When Hyunjin needed to be the villain to make the team progress much faster, they showed how it was. The only thing that was close to evil editing was when they showed Huen didn't care about his team and was lazy lazy, he might be a slow learner, or maybe it wasn't his day. He got eliminated soon after, so who knows. But again, as I said, I was a general viewer in most cases, so there might have been some evil editing moment I overlooked. Either way, I feel this show was much better than Mnex's evil editing. The judges or teammates here were really cool. I really like Bata, he should be in a K-pop group. Although I liked them, I didn't feel they had that much of value. They were also judging the contestant and giving them score. They had 60% of power and they were still shocked by the result. In the show, they never said how many points the contestant got from the teammates. That lowered their value as we didn't know how much their decision affected the final result. Anyway, I like the concept of inviting new guest teammates in every round. Both MC Xiumin and Iggy Guang were great. They both were cool and calm while hosting. I love that fact. Before I talk about my final top 7 and the debut lineup, I would like to talk about some of the contestants. First being Fun. He has the idol aura in his blood. His presence is different and he is good at both singing and performing. He also colored his hair red. I don't see any reason not to like him. His name itself says a lot of things like being fans or big fan. He was just born to be an idol. Then Miraku reminds me of Han. He has a rapper energy. Remember when I was comparing Midori and Miraku? After a point, I wanted Miraku to be the one to debut. The concept I want the debut group to follow matches Miraku more than Midori. The performance he gave in Boy in Love was the best. Min Jae reminds me of Bobby and Xion kinda reminds me of Nikki. I can talk about all the performances and rounds, but I will mention some that were my favorite. Thunderous, the best performance, very good Sherlock, Unforgiven, Gaul, and every performance Min Jae was part of. The rounds were simple, they were different from other shows, there wasn't any unit battle, but still it was simple yet good. This show has 2 original songs. The theme song Time of Our Life was a remake of the best basic song. It also fit the show's theme. If it were original, I would say it was the best rival show theme song. However, still Same Different has the crown, with Run being a close second. Among 2 final original songs, although I have only heard them once and there still has time for them to grow on me, I currently like Higher Wear. I don't like Make It Bounce at all. I want the debut group to follow a concept like Higher Wear. I would love that. Now about the final lineup. My last top 7 were Hyosop, Min Jae, Being Fun, Anshin, Miraku, Hee-young, and Jiaho. And I wouldn't mind if Lin, Junpyo Takuma or Jang Hyun-jun would debut. I would mind if Xion would debut mainly because the concept I want the debut group to follow doesn't fit Xion, and if he had debuted, the debut group would likely to go for a refreshing bright concept. I want them to follow a cool, powerful, dark sexy concept, or a messed up noisy concept would work as well. I also noticed that in this show I am more into the international contestants. International contestants shine more than the Korean ones. Even the top 3 are international trainees. Lin is half Korean, but he was mostly shown as a Chinese trainee. Other than them, Jiahao, Anshin, Takuma and Midori also shine a lot in this show. Now the debut group. I like the group. I was really afraid about the lineup. Every time I followed a boy group survey show, it never went my way. The main reason is that most of the fan base of those shows are females, and understanding a female is not an easy job. And if we add Koreans into this, it is nearly impossible. However, still 4 of my picks made into the final lineup. In my mind, I had made up if Anshin didn't debut, then Lin must debut. So you can say 5. As there were always 9 podium, I was hoping there would be 9 members. I wish that had happened, but I had a hunch it would be 7 as we could only vote for 7 throughout the show. But one thing I can understand is Min Jae. I mean, how? He was the best vocalist of the show. I'm not hurt by Anshin's elimination and I'm happy with the lineup, but still Min Jae not making into the group hurts me. I think Min Jae had a huge on-site fan and he was also getting benefits for winning, but in online voting he lacked support, and in the final there weren't any benefit points. He consistently had a similar ranking, and as we experienced with other shows, if your rank is stable, it doesn't look good for you. I was mostly scared of that. I hope in the future we will see Jiahao, Anshin and Min Jae in a better group. Min Jae can also try being a soloist. I know he will do a great job in that too. Now, they didn't mention if it is a permanent group or a temporary or how many years their contract will be. They also didn't mention any group name. It was a dumb move. After some months, people will start to forget about the show. How will they remember the debut group? If there were a name, it would later ring a bell in their head. Also, they could open Instagram and YouTube to post some pre-debut content. But one thing is certain, they will debut in January 2025. In my personal opinion, MA1 itself is a great name. They should use that. But if they have plans for more seasons, then it will make sense not to use it. Anyway, they will debut under the company Makestar. They don't have any history with K-pop, although they have a lot of actors under them. It will be interesting to see how they will manage that. This group reminds me a lot of Tan. Tan also came from a not so well known well-known show, also had 7 members and was under a new company, and I hope I will like their music too. We will see that when they will debut. Anyway, that's all from me. Let me know about your journey with this show, who were your first top 7, last top 7 and other things. Also subscribe if you want to see more videos on survey shows, and watch this video. If you like this, you might like that too. I will see you guys soon. Until then, have an awesome life.